Hello! For those of you who don't know yet, my name is Miriam and I love everything about books. In 2021 I challenged myself to read 365 books in a year, and the day I'm filming it I've read 130 of those books, and today we're actually living on day 134, so I'm a bit behind on my challenge. Every week I post a weekly wrap-up video about the books I read in the past week, and in the past week I was planning on reading a lot. I mean, if you've seen my previous weekly wrap-up video, you know that I had some big plans for reading in a weekend and I was very confident that I would be ahead of the challenge, and I failed at that, but that's okay. I'm sort of okay with it. I'm actually the journey to the 365 books has been like this for the entire year so far, so I'm not too worried about it. I just had a very busy week with work and writing, and I thought that was a bit more important than reading. But hopefully I will finish some books this weekend, so I will be back on track, sort of. But if not, I think it will be alright in the end. When I talk about the books I finished in the past week, I talk about the books I read from Saturday to Friday. So this week's weekly wrap-up video, it's about the books I read from, I can't remember the dates. I should have thought about this before filming this video. Saturday the 8th of May until Friday the 14th of May. The first book I finished in that time was When We Were Young by Kingsbury. I said in my TBR video for, I was going to say April, but I mean May, that I'm not a big fan of Kingsbury anymore like I used to be. I think her books are sometimes a bit repetitive, but also other things I can't really describe in English, I'm sorry. I thought this book was actually not that bad. I think actually I found it good. I gave it like 4 stars, which is quite a huge amount, because it had, well, it took on the, you know, the Christmas Carol trope, like time traveling back and forth and realize what you're going to lose if you continue living like this. It took on that trope in a very good way, and I never expected to see that in a Christian book, and I thought it was very well done. Even though some of the characters were a bit off, and yeah, I thought she put the blame on some characters which did not deserve the entire blame for certain things. But overall I was quite okay with it, and it was nice to see some of the Baxter family members in this book. It was a great reunion for me. So I really like this book. The second book I finished in the past week was The Bright Unknown by Elizabeth Byler Younts. And I can't tell you a lot about this book because I'm doing a podcast with a friend and we pick a buddy read every month, and this month we picked The Bright Unknown. And we have not discussed it yet in the podcast. That one did not go live yet. So I'm not telling you anything about what I thought of this book, because I actually know that some people following me on Instagram and also watching my videos are Dutch people, and some of them also listen to our podcast, so I don't want to spoil anything of what I thought of this book. So maybe in a future video I will tell you a bit more about this book. The third book I finished, I thought I would pick a small book so I would finish it in a day. Well, it took me 3 or even 4 days to finish because I had so many other things going on. It's Tears of the Giraffe by McCall Smith, and yeah, it's a second book in the #1 ladies detective agency. Maybe I'm saying it wrong, but it's such a great series, and I read like a book every week from this series. What can I say? I just love reading about the culture in Botswana and just all the things, and it's a detective, so there's also some mystery involved, but it's not like I can still read these books before I go to bed, unlike some other well, more thriller books. I don't want to read those books before I go to sleep. Anyway, this was a great read. I highly enjoyed it. Well, the last book I finished this week was a Dutch original book called Joshua by Evert Kuyt. It's a very old book from 1995 and it's children's biblical fiction. And I'm also working on a biblical fiction book and I wanted some inspiration for it, so I decided I would read this book because I could use some well, not really inspiration, but motivation, and this book takes place in about the same time as I want my biblical fiction to take place, so it certainly motivated me to work on that project. I also listened to an audiobook in the past week, but because the audiobook I'm currently listening to is a non-fiction book, a biography, which has very long chapters, like the chapters take an hour, or one of the chapters actually takes almost 2 hours. And yeah, I usually go on a walk for half an hour tops, so I do not always want to listen to my audiobook when I go on a walk because I won't be able to finish the chapter. Obviously I put it on a higher speed, but still it takes such a long time. It is very interesting though. I think that does not really help with the 7 books a week, which should be my average if I want to meet my goal. But yeah, well, it's just what it is, and hopefully next week will be better. And if not, that's okay. It's also okay. Anyway, how are you doing on your reading challenge? And did you read a great book in the last couple of weeks? Something like that? Let me know in a comment. And if you want to follow me on my journey where I read 365 books, then consider subscribing to my channel. I told you before that there would be only videos on the second and last Thursday of the month, but this Thursday I also got a video for you. It's a book haul video. I wanted to film it and I had some time left, so be sure to watch it if you're interested in that sort of thing. And well, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and as always, happy reading.